morning crust. It's a great day to be a bread brother.
Ugh, mornings are not my jam. Or jelly.
Oh, come on. Stop loafing around.
I just woke up feeling hollow inside.
Just grab one of the new Morning Uncrustables sandwiches, like Bright-Eyed Berry or Up and Apple, filled with 12 grams of protein and tons of deliciousness. Crust, what are you eating?
It's just granola, not even yogurt.
No crust, no fuss. Uncrust your mornings.
Welcome to No Question About That. This is the Tactics Pod, like Marcus Rashford, running a bit late this week. Dharnish, how's it going?
It's good. It's going good. We got 3 points. There's some negatives attached to the 3 points, but to be honest, most of what happens in the week in, week out, depends on the result, to be honest. So it's going pretty good.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot of noise at the weekends, and it's quiet during the week, and we've got nothing else to talk about other than look back on what just happened. I think that's up the frenzy, like the social media frenzy this season. The fact that we haven't got anything to distract us with, it's, yeah.
Absolutely agree with you. There's 5 or 6 days of lull between the games now. There's not, I definitely don't think the Grimsby Town result helped anybody, because I think that might be actually the worst result under Amorim, but it doesn't help that there's 6 or 5 days before the next result.
Yeah.
That increases the pressure on Amorim.
It does, and I think even in victory, victory over Chelsea just had to happen, just had to. And beforehand, I remember doing the preview of it, saying, I don't care. The ref throws it in, goes off his arse. It's a dodgy penalty. Yeah, whatever. At least the hysteria.
Second testicle.
Yeah, left testicle, whatever. At least the hysteria would be about like refereeing or whatever, rather than United. Now, we won, but I think there is some fair analysis of exactly why that happened. Obviously, it's very hard to like dig into like the tactics of a game that changed after 5 minutes, and then not that anything Amorim did made Maresca take all his forwards off. One of the more bizarre substitutions.
It's very bizarre, but I'd still take it. I want to latch on to the fact that I've seen good things that this team has been doing for 5 games, because there has been good things that I've seen for the last 5 games, regardless of how you feel about the manager, regardless of how you feel about what he is doing. Just because we have better players, it means that we're playing better, or it means that if I hook it long, Mbeumo's going to get on the end of it, or Šeško's going to head it on, or Zirkzee going to head it on, because that has been better, to be honest. Of course, if the enemies make mistakes, you don't stop them. But we're following the trend of what's happening in the Premier League, I feel, which is long ball, less possession-based. There's nothing wrong with heading it on. I just don't like, and I want to talk about this a lot, because I think I was talking about it with Carl Anker, and nobody has really latched onto this fact, is United have panicked in most of the games that they've had this season in the Premier League. The mental fact is clearly affecting them. This is a tactical podcast, of course, but the mental part is clearly affecting them. And you go, okay, do you think we deserve, be 2 up against Fulham first half? Probably, right? With the penalty. They didn't do that. The second half, they dropped very, very deep.
Yep.
Like so deep. First half against Burnley, probably deserved to be, 2-3-0 up. Doesn't happen. Second half again, panic. Same against City. You're 2-3 down, you panic again, you throw everybody up. So you add that onto the tactical aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was the same against Chelsea. Yep. Obviously, the Casemiro red card happened. That doesn't help anybody, but it's not. I just don't like how deep Amorim's United are dropping. I mean, we've seen this before. Last year it happened too.
Oh, absolutely. We've got 49 games of evidence. It's not just Chelsea or Fulham or City. United in difficult situations do this. And I just wonder how much the manager is signalling versus the players are panicking, because I think it's a bit of both. Yeah. Because Casemiro gets sent off. The manager's first choice is to take Šeško off the point of attack. Now, you could argue whether he was doing the right things or not doing the right things. I mean, he was involved in the red card because he got the flick on for long ball, route one, flick on, and Mbumo chases Sanchez, has a aneurysm and fouls him, right? So you could argue whether Sesko's had a great start to his United time or not, but it took away the focus. And so what was going to happen then? There was nowhere to send the long balls. I mean, it's been widely noted. I put it in my newsletter today. United have 398 attempted long balls this season. It's second only to Thomas Frank's Spurs. And it's flipped it around completely because when Amorim was in charge of Sporting, they were bottom of the table, both last season in which he had half a season and the season before which he had a full season for attempted long balls, right? So they may be following the Premier League trend to be a bit more vertical. Even City are. There's a massive change in City's approach this season. Much more vertical. That was amazing. Yeah. But United are at one extreme end of that verticality now. 5 games in, yada, yada, yada. You can say that we haven't got a big data set here. Although 398 long balls is a data set. It's a decent data set. It's more than big chances created or number of shots or whatever else metric you want to discuss. So there's something in that. And I just thought, coming back to your point about mentality, that Amorim sort of prefaced that by going, okay, now is the time to drop deeper, lads, because he kind of said it when it was 10v10. It wasn't as if we were even a man down. Seemed a bit odd.
It was very odd. It was really odd. I think they're really, really, really desperate for points. I think they're really, really, really feeling the pressure. Mm-hmm. It's not a tactical point of view, but I can't really think of anything else. Mm-hmm. He took Palmer off. He took Cole Palmer off. I mean, he's not what he was probably a season ago. But it's not really like this Chelsea team is finding attacking solutions with every game that they have. It doesn't feel as though right now what we're doing is the coach is giving the team solutions and the team is executing it. It feels as though the team and the manager are in sync in the terms of they're just desperate for results and they're desperate for points.
Yeah,
it takes away from the tactical aspect, but I just can't think of anything else apart from that in the second half. Look, they did great to hold on. It was great resilience. We saw this last season as well. It feels a little bit like the pressure and the conjecture around it is kind of encompassing them. And I felt that a little bit when Luke Shaw was talking about Roy Keane as well. But at the end of the day, 3 points again. Fernandes was good. And Mbeumo is playing really, really well. I know he's only scored 1 goal, but it doesn't feel as though anything has affected him from his performances this season to last season. So he got Sanchez the red card, made the touch to get Sanchez the red card. Against City, he was doing the finishing, he was doing the shots. Doesn't feel like anything's affecting him.
No, I think he's been excellent. He's been excellent. And
it's the same with Cunha. It's the exact same with Cunha. It doesn't feel as though they are playing for Man United. It feels like they're playing for Brentford and Wolves.
Well, same standard. One could argue cruelly. But yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing about we do this tactics pod each week. We're looking for changes or evidence of what he's trying to bring. I think it may be 6 games into the season and you can kind of create stories around each of those games, 5 in the league and the Grimsby game about what has happened. But the pattern is quite set, right? So, or as Amorim would say, formation and principles or formation and system, right? So we kind of know what they are. And I guess like the formation doesn't change, you change the manager before I change that, go ask the Pope whether it's happening or not, all of that kind of stuff Amorim was joking about beforehand. Yeah, exactly. So there's that. The principles are the one that we're all looking to say, well, he's got extra training time now, right? He's got a week between games. Yeah. He had a week prior to Chelsea. Chelsea had a tough Champions League game at Bayern Munich to face. That's where we're looking for the improvement, not just buying the players in the summer. That's the easy bit, isn't it? It's like, okay, are we going to now integrate them all in? What's it going to look like? And the biggest change is the verticality. Now, that makes a lot of sense with Mbeumo. Loads of sense. I mean,
the ball magnet.
Yeah.
Absolute ball magnet.
It's Fernandes, the quarterback, to Mbeumo, the wide receiver. Great option, right? And I think when I think about this, I think about the concern that it becomes the number one option, right? You've got 6'5" centre forward, and you've got Mbumo, who's lightning quick. I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing so much verticality. That will take away from Fernandes, the creator, and Cunha playing between the lines. And I'd hope they, over time, are able to mix it up, enough that
I agree.
It doesn't become one-dimensional.
I agree, but I also just don't mind the fact that they're leaning into the heading ability. Obviously,
Sure, yeah.
Arsenal are doing it loads.
Many ways to win a football game. None of it's the correct way.
But even looking at the goals that they've scored this season, there was an own goal against Burnley that came from a set piece. Mm-hmm. Own goal against Fulham came from a set piece. They were very dangerous against, I think, Burnley from set pieces again. There's nothing wrong with going and playing to your strengths.
Yeah.
At all. There's nothing wrong with it. It's more so the fact that there are problems with this formation that we've clearly seen. But there's also good things, I would say, to this formation that we've seen. It's a matter of, can they weigh them up, and can we go forward utilizing the positives of it, or are we going to run into the negatives again? And then are we going to go back to square one of saying, no, but the negatives are so bad, this, that, the other.
Yeah. The good stuff is
at the moment,
11 big chances created. 11. That's United are creating chances. They've had, I can't remember the total number of shots. It's a very high number of shots. It was 22 against City or something crazy. They're shooting a lot. They're creating some big chances. There's some mitigation there in that 3 of them were against City after we were 3-0 down, and 2 of them were against Chelsea when we had a man up. Right? So mitigation, we'll see, need more data to say. So that's good. Creating more chances, taking more shots. We needed that because last year Højlund was averaging a shot a game. And so we're shooting more often. You don't shoot, you don't score. It's literally true. On the other side, I was just looking at the data. Highest XG per shot against in the league, right? 0.17 goals per shot against, right? So we're giving up good chances. Now, again, small data set. So, a Arsenal player heading it in, Calafiori heading it in from a yard out, right? That's going to juice that figure quite a lot. So we'll see how that plays out. That would really concern me, that it's going forward, it's chaos and low percentage football, at the back giving away too many good chances. That's unsustainable.
I agree.
Again, 5 Premier League games, so that could completely change in 2 months' time. But it's kind of interesting. The mental side you mentioned, I just Christian Eriksen was going on about it today as well. There was that quote about, we hear the negativity. And no doubt, get the fuck off social media, guys.
But it's not that kid, but it must be a tough thing, though.
It must be.
I get it,
yeah.
How many, you have social media apps, right? Are you on Tinder?
No.
Are you on Hinge?
I'm not.
What's the other one? Okay, Cupid?
I don't know. I've been married for 14 years, Dharnish. I had no idea.
Okay, but my point is, it's very difficult to go about your day without clicking on your phone about certain things and have certain apps where people are talking about Manchester United. Because it just is. It's not... It just is. Luke Shaw talking about Roy Keane opened my eyes a little bit, or Amad Diallo
deleting his socials,
deleting all of his Instagram posts, opened my eyes, because these guys are human. They have social media as well. It's not... If I was a Man United player and somebody told me, delete all your social media posts, I would. But at the same time, I still probably download Instagram at midnight just to see what's going on, because that's just the world that we live in now.
You got to turn off notifications because it's just toxic. I can't help myself sometimes. I will get it. And most of the time I'm like, who cares? And it's normally when someone goes, you've got such an agenda and you said this and you said that. And I'll be like, I didn't say that. What are you talking about? And they're like, wow, yeah.
But you get into a habit of it.
That's when I end up calling people cunts, normally because they deserve it. Not that I would say that Ahmad should turn around and call everyone a cunt who's abusing him. Probably won't go down well if you're a pro footballer. So anyway, we're getting off the tactical side of things somewhat. But I do think you've got a good point about the mentality. I think they're quite quick to go into a negative spiral, and that whether that's
I don't
signals.
really blame them.
Yeah, I don't. They just do, and Amorim somehow has to get them out of that, and that's a tough job for a. It's like that. It's the cultural part of being a football manager. The thing that Gareth Southgate was so good at, which was getting players into a positive mindset. That balanced with him being negative as fuck as a football tactician. But anyway.
On the Southgate thing, I would say that Southgate and Solskjaer was like a club Southgate, and I would say that both of them have probably done underrated jobs in what they've done.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire an energy vampire. But also they're a literal vampire. And suddenly my team is spending all their time sharpening wooden stakes and buying bulk silver and rehearsing ancient chants, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant takes insights from over 1 billion professionals to create a short list of the best fits for you. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
What I would say from a league perspective, if you take the Grimsby result out, it's not been that bad. Like, I'm all for, obviously there is plenty of issues there, because why are you dropping deep when Chelsea have taken off 3 of some of their best players? They've done some horrible subs. At the same time, I would say, just sometimes I feel like the attack might just bail us out. I don't like the fact that they do. I would like a cohesive Amorim system and create 9 chances a game and possession football, have 60% of it and thwart the opposition. I would just say that in most of the games that I've seen this season, Arsenal, Burnley, Fulham, Chelsea and Man City, apart from Man City, because we could probably write that off, me or that, absolutely wrong. It's been a case of where like they've actually created chances in the games. There's negatives, of course, in those games, but they have created chances in this game, in those games. Yeah. They are creating chances, this Finding United team.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the question is over the quality of chances. So, again, looking at the data, I was just looking at FB Ref today. It's 0.11 expected goals per shot, right? So it's a very fine margin game. Last season, the worst team, Southampton, 0.09 expected goals per shot. I think Liverpool won it with 0.12, and I think City might have been above them with 0.13. I forget the exact order, right? But it's very fine margins between like 0.11 and 0.16. You're like, well, 0.13 or whatever. You're like, well, what's the difference? Well, that's the difference between 6th and 8th, or 6th and 4th, or 8th and 10th, right? And so it's like the type of football based on chaos, which is high volume of shots, low quality, historically hasn't exactly led to lots and lots of success. Or it's at least not winning football. We're not there anyway. I mean, it's not what we're trying to achieve this season, is it? So.
There's still some red flags there. I'll ask your opinion openly. Why do you think he's not playing Mainu?
Oh, I mean, I think he's kind of said it out loud, hasn't he? He doesn't see Mainu as number 6, because he talked about it 2 weeks ago before the City game. Mainu, sorry, I get people telling me to Mainu. He doesn't see Mainu as a number 6. Doesn't think he has big enough ground coverage for that, and he in a 2-man midfield against 3, you need a lot of ground coverage. And then, so the only other option is Bruno's spot. He's decided he needs Bruno for the verticality and Cunha for the final third creativity. So I think that's why. And he's kind of said it out loud. But and I think Cobby has probably heard that 2 weeks ago and gone, oh, fuck, I'm never playing, because Bruno, 100 goals in his second 200th Premier League appearance, so it's 280-something overall or whatever it is. He's never getting in the team.
Yeah.
So that's why we won't
Yeah.
play him, because he's very fixed on profiles for each of the roles in the team.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's just
That tactics board
it's
against
really-
Grimsby is fucking useless, because we know exactly what it is.
It's just it's genuinely a really difficult one, because I fail to see that. I fail to see why he's not playing him. It might sound like a very obvious thing. It's a huge red flag. It's like he's my ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend or whatever, Amram, and he's a huge red flag with that, because you go, okay, what does Man United need in tight spaces when they're in one section of the pitch and they want to try and switch it? Basically, when they are trying to attract 5 or 6 players in one section where they're trying to suck them in and switch the ball, you go, oh, we need a player who can dribble in tight spaces, and you go, all right, yeah, mine will. It doesn't really make sense to me, that part.
Yeah.
And there's some other red flags in terms of what he's doing, but I think that's going to hang over him until we get to maybe game week 11, game week 15, and we'll see what happens as we get there.
Yeah, but there won't be any big philosophical changes. I think it is interesting that the 2 best players from last season, Bruno and Ahmad, are basically in completely different roles. Ahmad might not even get in the team much. He's now Mbumo's reserve by the looks of it. We'll see whether he can make anything as a wing back. Don't know if I love him in those midfield spaces always, but you know. And then one of our best players from the season before, Kobe Mainu, nothing to do with the team at all at the moment. So it's a conscious choice to try and build the team and the squad that he wants with Amram, and he just needs results more. Yeah, it doesn't really. He just needs results, otherwise he won't get the chance to build it. So.
I think that's what's just kind of overshadowing everything right now in terms of the tactics or everything. He's just prioritizing results. Obviously, it comes from the fact that he was probably 5 or 6 out of 10 last season. Didn't win the Europa League final. I kind of wonder what would have happened if he did win the Europa League final, but I feel like that's kind of overshadowing everything right now.
We'd have dumped 100 million on Carlos Baleba. Instead, we just ruined him. Just totally.
Yeah.
He can't play football at the moment. He's dreadful. Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
What a shame. Yeah. Just call into Tony Bloom. Lower your price, or we're going to
Brian
ruin
Brown.
another player. Yeah.
Yeah, put 50 quid on another horse, Tony.
So Brentford at the weekend, what have you been watching of Brentford since Thomas Frank left for Spurs and they lost their 2 best players and their coach and appointed the assistant as manager?
I know people say they lost 2 of their best players, but I count 3 because people keep forgetting about Ivan Toney. They just didn't factor in the fact that, okay, Mbeumo and Wissa compensate for him, but it'll be very much watch the big, long throw-ins. Genuinely, watch the big, long throw-ins, because that's how Chelsea got fucked. Watch them with our height, with our centre-backs, because I don't know if you agree, but our defenders have been fine under Amram. I don't have any complaints about any of the defenders at Amram. Watch the big, long throw-ins. I really want to see, and I'm looking forward to seeing, Man United hold most of the ball. Brentford will drop deep in a low block. I think that they'll do that because that's what they'll do against Chelsea. Hopefully Amram can pick the spaces wide and in the half spaces with what he's doing, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. One, United have been excellent box defending this season. De Ligt and Maguire, again, at the weekend, they do the basics really, really well. I mean, De Ligt put a number of really exceptional tackles, blocks, chucking himself at the ball, all of it, right? The box defending is great. It's when there's space that they have problems. In this one, it'll be kind of interesting. United's attacking shape because Brentford, as you say, sit deep. Those direct balls we were talking about earlier, less effective typically against a deep lying block than they are against a higher line where there's space in behind. And Mbeumo's not going to have the space to run, basically. So
no, I don't think so.
Will it be percentage football? Are they going to get it long to Sesko and fight for second ball? Some of that. And United have been very effective at that this season. A lot of high turnovers led to chances and so on. So there's some measure of success in that. It's just a bit lower percentage. So can we keep more of the ball? Can we create chances from open play which aren't the direct fast attacking?
It's not their forte, yeah. It's not their forte. Because I keep thinking of the first half against Fulham, because going on later in the season, after you get over the fact that Amram and United are not completely in sync, I think he's going to get game week 15, 20, whatever you think. The next 2 games, because it's going to be against low blocks, we're going to see whether United are very good with the ball at their feet.
Yeah.
Basically, possession-based, not going long because they've got Ethan Pinnock who can just head the ball in and
all day long.
probably win most of the long duels. Can you pick some space? Can you find some space wide? Can you please put a fucking cross in that's going to work? Can you find a cross that's going to work into the back post? Because that's what the system is, right? Cutbacks and crosses.
Yeah, interesting actually. United, that was another data point I was just looking at when I was doing some research earlier. I think United is second for number of crosses. Gone to David Moyes FC here.
Did you look at successful crosses? Where were they there?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I mean, because that will be skewed by the fact that Sesko's not really started all the games yet. When we do, I mean, we talked about it in the season preview, right? Mbumo left foot, in swinger to Sesko, big man at back post should give us a lot of cheap goals. In theory, at least. Yeah. I mean, it is. I too am looking forward to, can United change up the game and the style of the game a little bit for this game, which will need something very different. And I kind of, in a sense, I guess I frame the direct play, long ball as sort of criticism. It's more an observation, really. It's been a really tough start to the season. Played Arsenal, City and Chelsea. The second place in the league last 2 years in a row. City, 5 championships out of 6. Chelsea, world champions. World champions, come on. Yeah, whatever. So difficult.
Ends up putting on the badge.
Oh, yeah. Who got him there? Mason Mount got him there. Did Enzo get him there?
I don't.
No.
I don't really understand why they keep going for him. But yeah,
no. Should have seen red anyway. Enzo Fernandez for.
I think so.
6 studs up. Late tackle.
It was quite a feisty game when you think about it. It was quite a mad feisty game.
But so we're going to switch it up, and how effective can we be in a high possession game where we have 60% of the ball or 56-7% of the ball? That'll be interesting. And I mean, I tend to agree on your assessment that he's going to get a lot of games. I as much as we can critique him, and I think it's fair, especially after that City game last week. I don't think he's going to get fired unless we lose these 2. Which will pile on the pressure this first international week, and then lose the next 3 after that.
Lose one.
Well, lose one. The pressure.
If you even lose one, honestly,
that's true.
You should be getting 6 points out of these 2 games. You absolutely have.
But pressure from fans and social media is different than pressure in the boardroom, and they equal very different things. Because there'll be support until the moment there isn't with that, and we're just looking for, if we get to January. Has it got, because they haven't got better by January and we're still at 30% win rate, then I don't think he's got much of a chance. But
yeah.
Anyway, chance for him to get back-to-back wins, first time.
My God, why are we looking at that? I don't know why we're looking at that, but we are here.
It's just
it's
a silly metric, but yeah, it shows there's never been momentum. So. And then Sunderland after that, who, I mean, I thought they worked the transfer market pretty well. They dipped into the French market.
They've got a lot of muscle in midfield.
They have got a lot of muscle in midfield, yeah.
I want to see how many duels Casemiro wins. I want to see how many duels Fernandes wins with that. But
Casemiro will be playing at the weekend. So he might play against
in the next 2 games, we're going to have more of the ball.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes with that.
Yeah. For the weekend, I mean, a team in which we should have more of the ball, a game in which we should have more of the ball. Will he go to the template model in midfield of Fernandes and Duarte now? Or do you think he'll risk Cobby at number 6?
No, I mean, probably Fernandes and Duarte. I'm sorry to disappoint everybody. I wish it was Fernandes and Mino. It's going to be Fernandes and Duarte, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that would be true to form, right? Unless
you probably start Mount and Fernandes.
Depends how fit Cunha is. I'd imagine he wants to get his front 3 playing more often, right? They're not going to have many midweeks. So they're getting a lot of rest. So I'd imagine he wants Cunha, Sesko and Mbumo in the side, which means Fernandes starts.
Yeah, Fernandes definitely starts. If you have Šeško, Mbumo and Cunha, that means there's only one spot.
Which is...
He starts mine. I would like him to start mine.
And if he's not starting Duarte, I'd like him to take a little bit more of a risk in the wing-back positions, and Mazraoui, as much as I love him, shouldn't be a wing-back.
There's duels and defensive tackles and that they win Mazraoui and De Ligt, but get some attacking fucking fullbacks in there, I would say.
Well, there's end product with Ahmad, and there isn't with Dorgu, so...
Basically, the 3 points, I think, has basically put a positive spin on everything, and then we'll see in the next 2 games when they actually have more of the ball, probably 60-70% of the ball.
Yeah, it'll likely be high, and then hopefully we've got a lot of good stuff to talk about, and we can start arguing with each other on Twitter.
Are we arguing with each other on Twitter?
No, not you and me. No. But I mean,
Are you sure?
The Manchester United community, yeah.
Yeah, but that's never going to stop.
No. Well, look, if we won 30 games this season, there'd be a lot less to argue about.
Yeah, we'll see. Get to the international break with 3 wins, basically.
Very good.
I'd have said.
All right, we'll leave it there. Quick review of Chelsea and look ahead. We'll be back after the Chelsea game. Not the Chelsea game. We'll be back after the Brentford game. Enjoy your time in Madrid. Catching any football?
No, I'm leaving tomorrow.
All right.
Thank God.
See you next time. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.